Hey guys, my name is Hannah and I would say, let's have some fun today. So this seems to be the year where I'm testing out some newer brands for me personally that I wanted to try for a long time, and now you could say, take the bullet and really get my hands on everything. And I got both Roen quads right here for a good deal, so I bought me them. I think it was around Black Friday and I bought them from Il Beauty, and I really wanted to try Roen Beauty for a long time. And the quads I bought for myself is the Roen Beauty quad in 52 degrees and the Roen Beauty quad in 75 degrees. And I want to test both out with you today. This will not be a first impression this time. I tested them out already because it's a really new formulation to me. I never tried Roen Beauty before, and I really wanted to dabble my toes into them before I'm doing this video so that I can get a little bit more familiar with the formulation of Roen Beauty, you know? So really wanted to test them out beforehand, just a little bit at least, so that I know what the formula is like and that I can give you a little bit more of an feedback for those palettes. Really wanted to test them out beforehand because of those reasons. I have to say the packaging, first of all, is a little bit more lightweight, but you could say used to it because Dior or even Tom Ford quads aren't any different. I have the feeling they're the same lightweight feeling, but I don't have the feeling that the lightweight feeling itself is taking away from the luxurious experience that you will get with the Roen quads. I think they're looking and feeling all in all luxurious, and I think they're beautiful. I will show you both quads now, but we will use one quad for the one day and the other quad for the other day. So this is the warm one, the 75 degree palette. I think it's really beautiful. I will give you a little bit more of a close-up right here. I digged already my fingers into it, so it's not brand new, that you know that, but it's a beautiful and stunning quad, and I really love the shades in here. And the second one I got for myself, like I said, is the 52 degree, the cooler one. I really wanted to get the 1111 palette. I thought it's so stunning and beautiful, but the problem was it was already sold out when I was on the website, so I decided to go for those two. I really like them both as well. I saw some videos to make my decision final, you could say, on both quads, and I thought, okay, I think my decision is clear now. I want a cool one and a warm one, and I want to test both. They also came both in a white packaging like this one. I think it's really beautiful, and when you are opening the packaging, you have a little beautiful white pouch with the Roen name on it. So it's a little bit more of a luxurious experience overall, you could say. And I have to say, nowadays, I think when you are buying not directly from a website, sometimes the retailers you are buying from are packing the palettes really poorly. In the last couple of months, I noticed it more than ever that some palettes really, they don't get much love into the packaging when they are needed to protect it. They are just thrown into the box and they're sending them out, and I think this is not okay. At least give me a little bit of protection, but I have to say Il Beauty at least gave them a little bit protection so that they came safely and nice to my doorsteps, and I really appreciate that nowadays. Just to note that as well. Oh guys, and to note something else, it has nothing to do with the palettes right here. I did my hair again, just a little bit. I didn't want it to do too much to my hair because I want to let it grow out again. I wanted it a little bit longer, but I cut myself some little bangs and gave me a little bit of a cut right here. And I also did just the front portion in a reddish kind of color, you know. I wanted something a little bit different, but I didn't want it to do something too much to it because, you know, I need it to be healthy right now, in a healthy state, so that I can grow it, let it grow out nice and beautifully. But I really like it, that it's a little bit of a change here, and yeah, just wanted to point it out, just if you're curious. We will see for how long I will leave that hair like that. Maybe in my next video I'm already having black hair again, who knows, or something completely different right here. But if you know me, you know me. I like to change my hair up here and there, so a little note for you. And yeah guys, I think today I really want to start with the 75-degree palette, the warm quad right here today, because I have a little bit more of a warmer complexion going on. Everything I'm having on my face today, of course, will be linked down below. Let's start with this one, and I think I will do it like that. I will talk to you beforehand a little bit about this palette right here, my feelings about this palette, and then we are coming to the look just with this palette right here. I will use nothing else but this palette on my eyes today. So let's get into the video and let's get started. So for the 75-degree palette, I have to say I used it the first time and I was a little bit surprised, because first time I'm touching the shade, it was particularly this one right here, the warmish kind of orangey tone. I don't know exactly how they are called, because I think it's J'adore, but I'm not sure. But it could be J'adore. And I used it and I was a little bit surprised. It was really hard feeling at first. You really had to warm it up with your finger for a longer time to get the full pigmentation out of it. After that, it was so creamy. It was a really creamy cream type of shade, I have to say. So that was that. And the next shade is the shade FaceTime, I think it is. And I really liked this as well. It was really creamy, but not as creamy as this really creamy orangey kind of shade. It was a little bit stiffer feeling, even though I warmed it up with my finger. And it gave me just a little bit of glittery flexes on my eyes. I have to be honest, I thought it would give me a wham bam glittery eye effect, but it was more like glitters were there, but it was more like reddish feeling or reddish looking than anything else. But I liked it anyways. I thought the two shades combined were really beautiful, and to give me even more glitter I used the shade Obviously, I think it is. I used it all over my lid basically and take it all the way up to my brow bone area. And I liked the shade. I liked the shades, I liked the look overall, but overall I have to say it was a little bit softer, a little bit on the softer, creamy, reddish looking side, if you're looking for something like that. I didn't hate it, but I have to be honest, I need to get a little bit more used to the formulation overall. It's nothing I have in my collection, because I don't have many cream shades, or even cream shades at all. I have the feeling I don't have them. And so I have to get a little bit more used to it. But I also find that it's really better applied first using your finger and then go on the lid. And after that using a stiffer type of brush, a really dense packed type of brush, and swirl the shades around. Because just with the brush you don't get that much pigmentation out of the shades. I think the finger is your best friend with those ones. But yeah, didn't use this shade right here at that day. It's called Nikki Dust, I think. It's this one right here. Didn't use it, and I really want to use this one today because of that. I need to use it in my look today. So yeah, I will dabble right into this one, guys. I will try to do a really completely different type of look, and I really excited about that, I have to say. I really want to try to get the most out of it today. Yeah, so let's get started, and everything else I will tell you at the completely end of the video and tell you a little bit more about my feelings. But that's everything so far I can and will tell you, and I want to get right into the look so that you get a little bit more of a better feeling for this one right here. So guys, I zoomed you in like always, and I also clipped my hair a little bit back so that you can see everything. And I also already primed my eyes so that we can get right into this beauty right here. And like I said, I will start with my finger because I figured out this is the best method to use. So I will start to use my finger, and I will start with this dark brownish shade right here on my finger, and I will pat it at the outer corner of my lid and work it at the middle portion. What I love about this palette, if you like messy type of looks, I think this palette is your best friend. If you like one and done kind of looks, this palette is also your best friend. And if you want it impactful but somewhat soft at the same time, I also think this palette will make you really, really happy. And I really like it, I have to say. I just have to get a little bit more used to the formulation overall. I really have to say I think this brownish shade down here is my favorite one. I thought it will be this orangey one, but it's this brownish darkenish shade. I think it's so beautiful, and it reminds me just a little bit of a shade in the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette, and it's also my favorite one of the whole palette. I think that's because I really like this shade right here. And now with this different type of brush, I think this one from a Naked palette is perfect. It's fluffy, but it's a little bit denser packed, so I can swirl the creamier shades really nicely around. And that is what I will do right now. Just a little bit more into my crease to give it a little bit more of a nicer blend. And you know, to pack this color all over the lid, it could be a one and done eyeshadow look. And just blending it a little bit out with a brush, or even with your finger you could do that to make it a little bit more quicker. But I like to blend a little bit more with a brush because it's in the end a little bit nicer looking, I have the feeling. But you could also blend it easily out with your finger, guys. Now I will go, I think, into... Do I go into the shade I didn't use until now? Maybe just a little bit I will go into the shade I didn't use until now. Again with my finger. It's this brownish shade right here. And you really don't have to be afraid to warm the shade up. Then you get the full pigmentation out of them. And I will put it at the middle portion of my lid area just to amp it a little bit up. Oh yeah, it's amping everything up, for sure. I have the feeling, now that I'm a little bit familiar with those textures and those shades, I really can do a little bit more than before with them. I really can get the most out of it because I know now how they are working the best, how they are feeling. I really like that. And you know, it's giving me glitters, but it's giving me more than glitters, a little bit of an wettish type of an effect, and I'm not mad about that. Now I really want to, because I of course want to use every shade in here, every color in here, I go now into this orangey shade. This is the creamiest one of all of them. I think this is the one shade you can use a little bit easier with a brush, but it has also to be a really stiffer, denser kind of blending brush so that you really can get the pigmentation out of it. And with this orangey shade, I really want to go into my inner corner for a nice pop. Look how beautiful this is. I like that shade as well, I have to say. Maybe this is my second favorite. And now I will swirl a little bit again with my brush, just for a nice blend. You know, it's not much effort. You can just work with one brush and mostly use your finger for everything else. This is exactly what I'm doing right now. So it's a really, really easy thing in the end. And now for the last part, for my lid area, I will go into the glittery topper kind of shade. Also warm it up, and I will go with this one on my brow bone area. Just tap it in. And I picked up so much, with the rest I will go on the other side. And I realized I didn't do the orange here, so in a second I will quickly do that as well. A messy type of eye look, guys, I'm telling you, is the best thing. So I will quickly do the orangey shade on the other side as well, into my inner corner. And again, blending it a little bit out with my brush. And now I will go into the darkest brown shade right here again. And just pat it a little bit at the outer corner again to give me a little bit of depth back. Okay, now for my lower lash line, I'm switching brushes. I will go in to a shade now with a more packing type of brush, a smaller one. And I will go again into the dark brown right here with this one. And just put it at the outer corner of my lower lash line. Like I said, with a brush I won't get as much pigmentation as with my finger. So I have to dig a little bit deeper into it and a little bit more than I would with my finger. Now for the rest of my lower lash line, I just will stick to the creamy orangey shade, because I want to keep it relatively simple down here. And for my inner corner, with the same brush, I will of course go into this goldeny, toppery type of shade. And I will also drag it just a little bit to my brow bone area. Okay guys, I think this is all of the look. I really enjoy it. And because those are cream products, I don't have a little bit of fallout right now, so this is a plus. Maybe just a little bit of glittery flecks, but it's so little, it's not even worth mentioning, and I swiped them away in seconds, so they're gone now. I think I will quickly do now my lashes and my lips, and then we will be right back with the finished result and the zoomed out version. So guys, and here's the look all zoomed out. I really like it. For my lashes, I used my Heroin Make Long Up Mascara, super waterproof. And I took the shade, I think it's something like burgundy or brownish kind of shade, because it's a Japanese makeup brand. I can't read it, but it's a type of brownish mascara. And for my lips, I used my Pat McGrath Bronze Astral Lip Fetish Astral Lip Balm. I love this one. It's so beautiful, so glittery, and so warm at the same time. And I thought it's pairing really nice with the look overall. And I love how everything came together and everything turned out, guys. And yeah, this is the first look with my 75 degrees palette from Roen Beauty. I really like how it turned out. I really love how easy it is to create a look with this one right here and how fast it's going. And yeah, I like how everything matches right now, I have to say. I also love the uniqueness of my eyes right now. I think the look is having something so unique to itself, even though those are very typical colors, you could say. But yeah, it has something for sure, and I will tell you everything about that in the end of my video. But I like it so far. I think it's beautifully looking. I love how everything is working out together right now and how I'm feeling right now with this palette. And yeah guys, I would say for you it's in a couple of seconds, for me it's the next day, and I would say we will see each other for my second look with my other Roen palette, the cool one, and I'm very much excited about that. So let's do this, let's jump into the second look, and we will see each other for the second and final look. Hey guys, it's the next day, and I would say let's do round 2, and this time with the 52 degree palette from Roen. So excited about that. I really love cool tones in the moment. They are this year more than back, like you can, I think, all tell. And I really love this color story right here. I think you have some versatility with all of those colors. Really loved it. The first time I used this palette, I started out with this creamy shade right here. I think it's called Rendezvous, this one right here, all over the lid. And I did go into the inner corners on my lid area with the silvery shade right here called Yep, or Meow, I think even. It's called Meow. And in the front portion I did go in with this glittery shade, and also in my middle portion of the eyelid area. And this one I didn't use, this brownish shade right here. I think this is called Yep. And this one I didn't use, so I want to use this one today in my look for sure. And when I used this one the first time around, I decided to use this one in conjunction with a more matte palette. And I used it together with my Dior Backstage Eye Palette 011 Silver Essential. This one right here, I used it together with this Roen Quad. And I really like the outcome. You know, those are not really matte shades in the Dior palette. Those are a little bit more satiny type of tones. So I thought they're paired really nicely together because I wanted to see what I can do with the Roen quad. I really wanted to see if I can combine it with mattes as well, and it was an easy thing to do. It was a match made in heaven, if I can say so, those two palettes right here. And I also wanted to see if I could increase the wear time, that the creasing isn't that bad or that it's a little bit slowed down, you know. But of course, because those are in the end creamy shades and they will crease eventually, and I didn't talk about the creasing until now because I want to save this for the end of the video. So I will tell you all about that in the end of the video, but I really like the combination overall with matte, so you can really combine those tones so easily with mattes. I think it's a beautiful palette, and I enjoyed my time with it. I like the tones, I like the reddish sparkly effect that you will get as well with this one, and it's so much fun to experience new formulations. But all in all, it was the same thing with this one, you know, it was the same thing. You have to dig a little bit more into it, you have to warm those shades really up with your finger to get the full opacity, and as well, it's easier for me personally to first apply them with a finger a little bit chaotically, you could say, and after that smooth it out with a brush. But you also can smooth it out with a finger. Maybe we will try that today a little bit to make a smooth application just with a finger. I will also go in with a brush, but just that you have the comparison, you know, with a finger, how it will look like that when you smooth it out, and with a brush as well. So maybe this is something I want to do today, just to show you what you can, or how you can use the palette in many ways. And yeah guys, without further ado, let's get into the video and let's do the second and final look. And today we will use the 52° palette, and I'm so excited about that. So guys, like always, I zoomed you a little bit more in, and I also primed my eyes already and clipped my hair a little bit back so that you can see everything nice and clear. And everything else I'm wearing today on my face, of course, will be like always linked down below if you're curious about that. And let's get right into this beauty, I would say. Okay, I think I will start with this one right here, with this really creamy lilac-y type of shade. I think it's beautiful and it's really emollient. Those are, in both palettes, those kind of emollient type of shades. I think they are really nice for the base overall. So let's start with this one. And you know, you can go precise with it, but over time it will smudge together. So I'm not trying to be perfect with those shades. I just want to have my fun, and also I think it's in the end a thing that should be a quick and easy, not too precise type of eyeshadow look. I think they are intended for that, so I also wanna, yeah, play with them like that, you know? So I will start at the outer corner of my lid area again and bring it basically all over my lid this time. So, and now normally I would go in again with a brush, but I will try to clean the edges a little bit up with my finger and look how far I can get the eyeshadow to blend. Oh yeah, it was really easy actually. Well, it was not that hard. It looked really blended and perfected. I think you can tell. It's a really nice edge that I have right now, and it's really blended into my skin so beautifully just with my finger. But of course, with your finger you will lose a little bit more color than, let's say, you would use a brush to blend out. But it's possible. You can see this would be a one and done, easy peasy going eyeshadow look for the day. If you are in a rush, everything you need, just a little bit mascara and do your lips and you would be done. But this is not what we are doing today, but just in case you are wondering, all those shades can be really beautifully used as one and done eyeshadow looks, and I really appreciate that about this palette right here. Now let's use this brownish shade I'm dying to use and I will go at the outer corner with it of my lid area, just to deepen it a little bit more up right there. So now again, with a stiffer and denser packed brush, I will just smudge the edge a little bit out. Again, you could do it again with your finger, but I like to use the brush for that. And now let's come to the showstopper. I think it's the silver right here, the silverish blue kind of shade. I'm going into it with my finger again. And look how pigmented this is, guys. It's really beautiful. And I will go to the front portion of my lid area with this shade. Ooh, 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 ooh. This is much. I can use what I have on my finger for both sides. And again, with the brush, I smudge it a little bit out. Would also be a beautiful holiday or New Year's look. Just if you are thinking about that, I think it would be a great idea. And with the other side of the brush, it's also a little bit stiffer. I'm going again into this silvery shade and use it for my inner corner. It's a little bit dark for the inner corner, but I think it's a nice twist to the look, you know? Like that, just a little bit. And now I'm using this shade right here. This is a really glittery type of topper. But first I'm going in with the brush and just put it right there like a little wing. Just to give me a little bit more of definition. No, like I said, it's not about the definition with those eyeshadows, but I really want to test it out today. And now I'm going into this one with the finger and just tap it slightly, lightly on my brow bone area. Really just with tapping motions. This time I'm not swiping, just so that the glitter is more there and not so much the base pigment of the creamy shadow. And now for the lower lash line, I'm going again into this lilac-y shade. It's really quick with those shades, guys, I'm telling you. I'm just putting it at first at the outer corner and just connecting it a little bit with my upper lid area as well. Like that, and now I'm going into the brownish shade again and also a little bit at the outer portion, but with this one I'm going towards the middle portion of my lower lash line. And now again with the silvery shade to round everything up, going to the front portion of my lower lash line with it. So what I want to do now, I think, as a little extra, I want to go in with my Melt All Day Everyday Ultra Matte Eyeliner in black, and I really want to smudge it as near as possible onto my upper lash line area and create a little bit of a rocker type of look, you know, just to deepen it even more up. Also creating just a little wing at the outer corner, but really not too much, and it don't have to be a precise type of wing. And now I'm taking the shade and putting it onto my waterline as well, just to round it up. And now with the brush that I used for my lower lash line, I'm smudging the black on my upper lid area a little bit out. Just that it's not too precise and it's blending nicely into the whole look. So guys, I think this is everything I want to do. I will do now quickly my lashes and my lips, and then we will be right back with the finished result. But I can tell you right now, I'm digging the look so much. And here's the look all zoomed out. For my lashes, I used my Pat McGrath Labs Fetish Eye Mascara in Extreme Black. It's giving me every time extreme, beautiful, thick and dark looking lashes. I love it. And for my lips, to pair the grungy theme overall really nice together, I used my Bare Minerals lipstick in the color Willpower. I'm telling you guys, this is a brown. I love this brown so much. It's It's my favorite one, I think, in my collection, if I can say so. And I paired this color together with my relatively new in my collection MAC lipstick, Taste for Bubbles Fizzy Feel Lip Balm. This one right here, this beautiful glittery one, just to give it a little bit more of emollients and a little bit more of an, yeah, sheenier type of feel to it, you know? So I think it's pairing all in all really nice together. And yeah guys, here's the look all zoomed out with my 52-degree Roen palette right here. I really like it. I think it's a grungy dream right now and I'm not mad about the look, not a little bit. It was easy, it was fast, and it was exactly what I imagined the palettes to be. But now let's come to my overall thoughts on both palettes and what are the pros and the cons maybe for someone who wanna buy a Roen palette. So let's do this. So guys, here are again both palettes in the frame. The warm one, the 75-degree and the 52-degree palette right here that I have. I have to say I really like both of them. I think they are beautiful. This is really a warm toned dream and this is a really cool toned dream, if I can say so. I think both are very beautiful. The thing is, both you can get a really quick, easy one and done eye look. I think this is great for every day. I think if you need it really fast, really quick, but also you want to have something beautifully sparkly, reddish looking on your eyes, I think those are the palettes to go. You also can build looks with them. It's not like you can't, but the thing is, I did it today and I think you can already see that it starts to creasing, and it's creasing faster and faster as many layers you put on your lid with those creamy eyeshadows, I have to say. Because they are so creamy and emollient, it depends how many layers of eyeshadow you are stacking on your lid over and over, you know, because as more cream products you have on your lid, as faster it will crease. And I think this eye look will crease in minutes. In minutes it will crease and I have to rebuild it. It's not impossible to rebuild it. In fact, it's really easy to do that. But you have to keep in mind, as often as you are rebuilding your eyeshadow, it will smooch more and more together and become one big eyeshadow look in the end. So if you are like me and you are curating a look, keep in mind at the end of the day it won't look like a separate type of eyeshadow look in the end anymore. You know, it will look like you have one big eyeshadow all over your lid, and that's that. I'm not mad about that. I did go in with the mindset that it will be like that because I watched by now a little bit of videos, and that's also because I wanted to test them out before I do a video on them. At least I wanted to test them out one time, that I can tell you about my experience. I told you with the 52-degree palette right here that I built a look the first time with it with a semi-matte eyeshadow palette. It was a more like with my Dior palette, and it's more like a satiny type of eyeshadow palette. I built a look with this together, and you saw at the beginning how the look was looking, and in a couple of hours it looked like that. It was a little bit more creasy. It was really, you could see the crease in my lid, but it wasn't as strong as, let's say, when I didn't use a matte, more matte base. So I think you can improve the longevity of your eyeshadows when you are using them in conjunction with matte eyeshadows. But if you don't want to do that, keep in mind, just like I said, they will crease eventually, and maybe as well very fast. It depends on how many layers of creamy eyeshadows of the quad you are putting on your lid. If you are doing a really small layer with one eyeshadow, I think you also can increase the longevity of your cream product. But keep in mind, at the end of the day, those are cream products and you always have to rebuild with your finger. So maybe if you want to do more precise and a look that's really parted in some way, I think you should more go to your standard matte and metallic and glittery type of shades. But if you want something a little bit more unique, I have to say, they're really unique. This is nothing I had before in my collection. It's taking maybe a little bit of time to get to know those products a little bit better, to get to know those formulations a little bit better. But once if you figured it out, I think you can really enjoy those formulations and those really unique type of formulations especially. I really enjoy them, I have to say. I will use them definitely more. I have to see what time will tell how much use I will actually get of it. All in all, I have to say I like both of them. I think it's your preference. It's a preference thing for you. I wanted a warm and a cooler type of palette, and I love that I got what I wanted, you know? And in the end, I know now when I can use them, when I want to use them, when it's not so drastic that my eyeshadow is a little bit more creasy, you know? I don't mind that at all. I will just tap it in. But I think it's important to know what you're getting yourself into. And yeah, guys, that's all of my thoughts. I overall really like those palettes. I think I will try to get me the 1111 eventually somehow as well. Not now, it can wait a little bit. I'm now satisfied with those ones. I know also that Roen has now a little bit more of a different formulation. They also have now powdery eyeshadows in their collection incorporated into their palettes, so maybe I will test them out as well sometime. I'm really excited to dive into this brand as well a little bit more. I really enjoyed my time with it. I need to get a little bit more used to it, I won't lie, but all in all I'm impressed and very fascinated about this formulation in general. And if you enjoyed this video, guys, I would be really happy if you give me a thumbs up, that I know that you like this kind of content. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click on the little bell to get notifications here and there when I'm posting something new. And with that being said, I hope you had a great time, and we will see each other in my next video. So happy and excited about that. And until then, bye.